Speaking of floating on air, my first buy is Mascots Trucking Kids.
What? Bull Nuff alert. My last sale is Chupa Chup wrappers.
You're looking vibrant, relaxed, youthful.
Thank you. Yes, I don't feel any of those things, but
Neither do I. And I don't look at. Wow.
oh god, we've gone full Nuffy.
Timothy,
Hello, Christopher.
how are you?
Very well, thank you. I'm great. I'm comfortable
Yeah.
more than anything
I'm very comfortable as well.
in these new digs, the new surrounds.
We always say new studio, who dis.
Who dis?
It's really the same studio. It's just a different location.
Just different parts and.
Yeah.
But I'm tray comfortable, so thank you very much.
No, you're welcome. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you.
Hello
to everyone.
Hello and
in
welcome.
YouTube land.
Like and subscribe. Hit the button just there.
The button that's going to come under the button on the bottom corner. Now, you'll see why we're so comfortable and relaxed. As you can probably tell in the tone of the voice too. Because we're not in a prisoner of war camp anymore.
No, last time we were held hostage and
Didn't
forced to read out lines.
No, it didn't look good, but I feel great.
Me too. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. How have you been?
Very well, thank you. Yep. Not a lot's happened since we last recorded in terms of
a little bit delayed.
Just the day to day. Yeah, look, we
very busy.
We got busy schedules and
March was a bit of a write-off month for me.
Yeah, but we're here, and that's the main thing. That's what counts.
Yeah, no, it is great to be here. Gather Round is past.
Yep, been and gone. We'll discuss that a little bit later on.
Dive into that. But before we do get into everything, I do need to get something off my chest.
Please.
I'm in a good mood and a bad mood.
This is a safe space.
I have a lot of safe space friendship groups. Well, I like to think I do. One with my lawyer and accountant has not been a safe space for me.
Okay.
So to start the week. So I'm massively off them and we'll be looking for replacements for them. So they kind of put me in a bit of a bad mood, but I figured I owe lots of people apologies.
Okay, let's hear them.
So first off, I'm going to apologise to the highly, highly intelligent South Australian supporter base of the Adelaide Crows. I got it wrong.
Yep.
I said your list was nowhere.
I'm in the
somewhere.
Same bandwagon there. I didn't believe, but now I'm a believer.
It's only one team. There's only one team in South Australia as far as I'm concerned right now. And you know what? Congrats to you. You deserve it. I'm so happy for you.
The competition's better when Adelaide are good. When they're up and flying,
absolutely.
It's good for the comp.
Yeah, I love watching Tex Walker just dominate. Like, it's so good to watch. He's so much fun to cheer for.
Yep.
So that's apology number one.
Okay.
Who you were kind of with me on that one.
Yeah, I am. Yep.
The next one is to Collingwood.
Oh, yeah, what happened there?
I got it wrong. I said that you couldn't win the flag. It's unsustainable. Wow.
Have you changed your opinion? Can Collingwood win the flag? Or are you doubling down?
No, I'll double down if you lose a prelim, and I'll go hard at a few people who just pop up in my DMs who I don't speak to. Look, if I'm a friend of yours, right? I'm not saying me. We're obviously friends.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Generally speaking, if I'm a friend of yours, right? Port Adelaide lose. Tell me where to go.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, that's banter.
That's banter.
That's part of it. Yep.
If I don't know you, if I don't talk to you on a frequent basis, like I've got people who I went to school with who I don't really have any interaction with, people I've just seen in passing, people I don't follow on Instagram who follow me, that's weird. Don't reach out to me. I'm not a celebrity.
Well, I suppose...
Thanks for watching the show, by the way.
I suppose, yeah, I was going to say, I suppose the flip side of that is... You know, they're listening to the pod, they're watching the pod, so they're refill...
they're refill orientated, but...
So I think they have every right to pot you if they listen. So if you're listening, feel free to hit Chris's DMs and just give it to him.
Yeah, thanks for the download. But yeah, so apologies to that supporter base as well, another highly intelligent
That's the Collingwood supporter base.
That's the Collingwood supporter base, so apologies to you.
Yep, accepted.
Yeah. Moving on, there's more. North Melbourne.
The shin boners.
The shin boners. I would like to apologise to your vast majority of members.
Yes.
You've got a very proud, passionate, and extensive membership list. I got you wrong as well. Mm-hmm. You're not completely irrelevant. You're still somewhat irrelevant. On the weekend, you sort of proved my point, but they started off okay.
The Clarko effect.
I would say it's more of the Cheezel effect.
Yeah, the Cheezel. Oh, he's going to be a player.
Gee whiz. I tell you what. And here's get your boo birds ready, get your jeers ready.
Mm-hmm.
All of these North Melbourne fans who are still upset by Jason Horn.
Boo!
Boo! Here comes Horn. Boo! His own supporters are booing him. Boo! No, they're not. If you're still upset about that, you honestly need to look at your priorities.
I don't think... Is it really North supporters that are still... Is it not
I reckon
North
there
supporters
are.
booing?
No, I reckon there are North supporters who are still upset by what transpired.
Well, there probably is. They should be over it now because they've got the Cheezel.
Who's better than Horn Francis?
Probably going to be
who's definitely better than him.
Generation player.
Yeah, literally.
Plus, they've got Wardlaw, who we haven't seen yet, who was picked for. Like I think they've done okay. I don't follow the North. The socials or
big footy.
I don't follow the big footy and what's happening there, but I'd be surprised if they're still upset about it.
Yeah, I know some of them are.
I suppose
some of them have been in my DMs too.
All three of them.
Yeah, zing.
Yeah, look, I don't know. The booing started when Collingwood played Port, so I like to think that Collingwood probably set the agenda there.
Yeah,
rightly or wrongly, probably
just
wrongly.
Fine. He probably knows.
But now it's a bit of a copycat / thing, but. It's theatre. It's footy. Who gives a shit?
It is. It's a. Here's the thing, right? What's so good about the NBA as a product?
It's drama filled.
It's not just a sport.
No, exactly.
It's
always
entertainment.
It's always
like the WWE.
Correct.
AFL is our biggest, as in Australia, is our biggest sport. It's our biggest spectacle.
Yeah.
There is drama.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we have these, documentaries about the trade period, and we have all these different shows.
If anything, we should be amping up this stuff, not trying to
adding to it.
Yeah, exactly. Not trying to hit it on the head. I think
that's why Kane Cornes is so good at what he does.
Well, Kane Cornes, according to David King, on First Crack, I was seeing it, basically blamed Cornes for starting the whole Hornet drama.
Probably.
Now Cornes is on there pleading for everyone to stop booing. It's like, well, don't pour petrol on a house, set it alight, and then complain about the flames. You know what I mean? Like,
you started this fire.
Yeah, exactly. So at some stage you got to take ownership. But anyway,
yeah,
as I said, it's theatre.
It is. We've got one more apology.
One more. Let's hear it.
I think this is a joint one as well.
Yeah, well, look, I'm probably going to save my one for a bit later on in the show, but okay. I know where you're going.
I'll say it now.
Mm-hmm.
To the St Kilda Football Club, their beautiful, beautiful supporters, some of whom I'm very close with.
Closer than most, yeah.
Closer than most. I apologise from the bottom of my heart about the jokes, about your lack of premiership success, the jokes about your lack of relevancy, the jokes about just your overall cringiness ever since they did that weird when the Saints go marching in song.
Yeah, that was weird.
I apologise.
Fair.
Ross the boss has just come in and revitalised this nothing list.
Gave them CPR.
Him CPR, got the volts up to 4,000. Boom. And they're back.
They are back.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Owen, well, they've lost the game now, so they're not.
No, but they're still equal top of the ladder. Or actually, they are top of the ladder.
Yeah.
I'm going to save my thoughts on that for a bit later on. But yeah, that's a well-deserved apology.
Yep. So I just needed to get that off my chest.
Fair. No, it's
people would say people love doing that. If you notice that.
What's that?
Not a lot of people like to put their bacon on the line.
No,
they're quick to...
They're quick to smack anyone who does and gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's... Welcome to the dizzy world of podcasting.
Welcome to, the dizzy world. Just the dizzy world.
Just the dizzy world, okay.
Just the Jason Gillespie world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, no, it takes a big man to apologise, and you've apologised there. Yeah. So,
all right, so that probably wraps up our little intro, and I guess what we can do now is we'll throw it over to the late news with Sandra
Oh,
Sully.
here she comes.
10's Late Night News with Sandra Sully.
We begin with the signing of...
Keeping you informed, keeping you involved, keeping you in touch. Australia's most established late news service, the Late Night News with Sandra Sully. Weeknights on 10.
All right, headlines. Max Verstappen takes his first ever Australian GP win amid a massively drama-soaked, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
Race, which saw 8 cars fail to finish, and the race finishing under the safety car, which is
rare
as hen's teeth. So yeah, it was a crazy race.
It was. Did you watch it?
I watched the last half.
Okay, that was pretty much the whole race was nuts.
There's lots going on.
Yeah.
You were there.
Correct.
Is it easier or harder to tell what's going on when you're actually at the track? Like, were you just like, what is happening?
I'm so glad you asked that question. So I went Friday.
Yep.
Friday is my Christmas day.
Mm-hmm.
That is the best day.
Which is just practice, right?
So it's practice 1 and 2.
Yep.
But it's like a little like ritual now that Caitlin and myself have started.
Yep.
Always go Friday. There's always good bands on, a little festival set up.
Yep. Are the crowds not as hectic?
Crowds are not as hectic because it's a Friday.
But still pretty heckers?
Yeah, still, I think it was like 150, give or take.
That's a pretty big crowd.
120 maybe.
Yeah, it's still big.
Take some mayo off it. But, yeah, it's a great day.
Yep.
It rained. It sunned.
Yeah, okay.
We laughed, we cried, we danced.
Yeah.
And I was bopping to the old Jungle Cats.
Okay.
Another new band I'm into now.
Hello and welcome, the Jungle Cats.
Tested the ACL probably a little bit too much with the old
really were having a crack.
dancing moves.
Yeah.
But Sunday was my first actual Melbourne GP race.
Okay.
Now we found a really good spot. We were kind of on the back straight between corners 8 and 9. They have what's called like track radio. So it's not the F1 commentators you hear.
No, but
it's 2 dudes in like a local,
sort of like this kind of setup.
Kind of this sort of setup, calling like Bandura versus Eltham.
Yeah.
It's like
and you just tune in on your.
No, they've got speakers along the fence, so you can hear it.
Okay.
When I say these 2 guys, no offense to them, when I say these 2 guys had no idea what was going on at the end, that is the biggest understatement ever.
Who are they? Why are they employed if they don't know what the hell's going on?
Well, see, the problem is they're like, on this week, I reckon, I don't want to say D grade. You know when you say D grade celebrity?
Yeah.
They're D grade media.
This is a international, probably the biggest event in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Arguably with the Melbourne Cup and AFL Grand Final of the year. Mm-hmm. Multi-million-dollar, maybe even $1 billion industry.
They should have been more switched on.
Maybe we just get 2 people who know what they're doing.
I don't understand why they couldn't. Well, I mean, it's probably like the broadcasting. You can't just blare that.
No, but that's why I asked about how aware of you of what's happening. If you're relying on 2 peanuts, trying to explain it to you, and they're not doing the job, then it's...
They did not do their job.
Well, then.
Because there was a lot of like, oh, this is happening, that's happening, we think this. And it was actually starting to get a bit... Because it was a long delay. So what happened was there was a red flag.
Yep.
A second red flag. And so the corner 1 at Albert Park is a chaotic corner. And basically what happened, once the red flag restart happened, towards the end, there was like a couple of laps, and all these drivers, right, who are in not great teams, are basically like, we've got a real opportunity to score real points here, and they've just gone into that turn, another like 3 or 4 cars. And
it was chaos, yeah.
And then there was talk that it may have just, the race is just going to end what it was before the crash.
Yeah, but
then there was going to be they didn't know. And so to answer your question, in about 30 minutes of talking, they had no idea, and we had zero idea.
Which made you had no idea, yeah, right.
I had to rely on a mate of mine big refill fan. Chris in Heidelberg West.
G'day, Chris. Yes, love Chris. Yes,
he's desperate for some new merchandise as well. He's been bugging me for ages.
Yeah, well, we need to get onto that.
Yeah, we will. He was texting me and providing me updates when I'm there. I can smell the petrol and the burnt rubber.
Feels like an opportunity then, doesn't it?
For us.
Well, not for us, but just for
because we might know less than those blokes.
No, exactly. I'm not saying we're F1 experts by any stretch, but if you're at the track and you don't know what's going on, that feels like an opportunity for the organisers to provide some sort of.
They need more TVs.
More TVs or whatever it is, or even like have a radio, like have a bloody.
Have a good radio.
Or have something you can dial into and listen to, and have experts telling you what's happening.
Yeah, you should. They should get the TV coverage. The TV coverage is unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly.
So they should do that because that's what the TVs are showing.
Well, you got the F1 app. Just put the app on the screens.
Yeah. So honestly, the most crazy batshit race.
Yeah.
Like we came home and we watched it.
Because you didn't know what the hell had happened.
Because that's the thing is because we couldn't see a TV.
Yeah.
We were close enough to a TV to see it, but it was just we weren't.
Yeah, you're flying blind. So to
you're
speak.
flying blind, basically. Yeah. But I will say one thing. So it started off pretty crazy with the two Mercedes jumping ahead of Verstappen, and see we're basically getting the cars as they come around, and you see go vroom vroom vroom, and then once Verstappen so he had a bad start.
Yeah.
Once he chewed him up, you should have seen the gap he put on them. That car is like, it made the rest of them look like
it's a spaceship, isn't it, compared to the other ones? Yeah.
Honestly, made my Sportivo look like my Sportivo was out there.
Yeah. Yeah, so, it's amazing how much of a gap Red Bull have put on the rest of the field because, as long as they stay on the track, he just wins, right?
Correct. And the George Russell has been very adamant that they're hiding pace as well, which would seem like a weird thing to do, which I guess you...
So what does that mean, hiding pace? As in Red Bull is saying Red Bull can go quicker but they don't want to?
Yeah, so the thing with the Ferrari, right? Ferrari cars are really quick, but they don't have the engine reliability, so they don't crank it up.
Yeah.
So if you and me went for a kick, right, and you're 50 metres away, I know my knee and hamstring, while I could comfortably kick 50 metres in the past.
You just know it's not worth it.
The engine reliability is not there.
Your leg is going to rip off your body.
Basically, so I'll say, Tim...
So I'll kick it from 30.
Come 30 metres closer. That basically is what he's talking about there.
Yeah, right, okay.
The car can go this, but in order to keep their engine reliability...
So Russell's saying Red Bull's hiding pace.
Yes.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And he's saying, they're probably going at like 85%. Because they're like, well, if we know we're going to win at 85%.
So why go?
Why would we?
Why put the car in jeopardy and crank it? Yeah, okay.
So, and people say this is like, people saying, this is kind of ruining F1. But like, Mercedes did this for like 8 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was like...
The guy called Lewis Hamilton won like 8 in a row.
Exactly. And that was more of a joke than what this is. Because you didn't have battles with the mid-table teams. Which we have now. So I think F1's actually in a great space. Yeah.
It swings and roundabouts. It always, people, climb and fall and teams come and go and, Red Bull won't be on top forever.
No, they won't. So, it was a great day. Despite the confusion at the track, and despite finishing under a safety car, which was a bit disappointing.
Yep.
I would have loved to have seen a, one lap race, but not to be.
Fair enough.
Yeah, not to be. Moving on, because that took us about 4 hours to get through, thanks to me. Spain's John Ram wins his first green jacket after taking out the 87th Masters Golf Tournament at the Augusta National Golf Club in Augusta, Georgia. I don't know why I put that in there. Rahm beat Brooks Koepka by 4 shots after the American failed to hold on to the lead he had for seemingly the entire tournament.
Yep. It's a win for the good guys, isn't it, this one?
Liv, not that we like to give Liv any free promotion. They've actually got a tournament in Radelaide.
Yeah.
So he was there. He was at the Collingwood St Kilda game
Oh, yeah, I did see them cut to him, yeah.
And everyone's favourite Patrick Reed sitting in the crowd by himself, stock standard. No one wants to sit next to him. It was a weird Masters. Masters because the weather just affected it so poorly.
Well, the weather seemed to affect a certain group more than like the later group got affected more than the early group, right?
Yeah, depending on it was one of those things, and this is like, this is not taking anything away from Rahm.
No, because
Rahm's a cheat code.
Yeah,
but there were some players who just had their tournaments just derailed. Cam Smith was one of those.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened round one? Super soft, no wind, and it was like it was a shooting gallery.
Yeah.
But then the next day just was the
trees were literally falling.
Trees literally falling. How no one got hit?
Yeah, no, that was actually crazy.
That is because the galleries are.
I think if it had been a nicer day, galleries, there would have been.
That's
been absolute
grim to think about.
Yeah, so I think the fact that the weather was so bad, it turned people away, which is lucky for them.
Lucky for them, and it literally made the course, and the course is already.
It's already pretty hard.
It's already pretty hard, and it just made it almost impossible for some players to play.
Yeah.
So if you literally hit it on like one part of the green, a double bogey.
Yeah.
Like it was forget about it. And that was even like Rahm. Rahm even had some of those.
Well, Rahm had a four putt to start the whole tournament.
Yep, double bogey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was crazy. I was so happy to see him win, and not for the live.
No, look,
because I like Brooks. I actually quite like Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, I think, and I will speak about this a bit later on, but I think, did himself no disservice in the Full Swing doco on Netflix.
I think he probably helped his brand quite a lot.
I did, yeah. I think he was pretty. I think you got to see the real side of him, the human side of him. So, yeah. By no means was I rooting against him, but
cheering for him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love John Rahm.
Mm-hmm.
When he won his last major, he got mangled because he likes to party.
Yeah, right.
And was hitting golf balls off concrete in the middle of the night at this massive party he had. And I was like, "That's a man."
Yeah, that's good.
That's a real man.
Love to hear that. Love to hear it.
Yeah. So I can only. And here's another insight into the man. So he wins the Masters.
Yep.
The next week, which was this week, we had the RBC Heritage.
Yep.
He committed to playing that.
Yep.
Ages ago, and people were like, "Why don't you pull out?" He goes, "Because I committed to playing it. Kids may have. There's kids there who bought tickets
to see me.
Want to see me."
Yep.
He goes, "I think it's only right that this tournament has, the Masters champion there."
Great.
That is a man of integrity.
Great attitude. It is. Love it.
So, very happy for him. I love watching him because he's not your typical...
No.
He's not your typical golfer, level-headed, calm. He lets it fly.
Yeah. He's puts his heart on his sleeve. Wears his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah. On his green jacket sleeve.
Now it's a green jacket sleeve.
So, congrats to the Bowie once again. Can't sink him. Can't sink him.
No, it was good to watch. Very good to watch. Now, we touched on this last pod, but it's sort of been an update of sorts, and it's still staggering. Olympian Peter Bowl, who had his provisional doping suspension for EPA lifted after his B sample didn't match his A sample. The update is that there should never have even been a sample positive to begin with. They did 2 independent tests. One was carried out by a doctor at the University of British Columbia. G'day to all the students there.
Yeah.
And 4 experts, not 3, not 5, but 4 experts in Norway. And they've indicated that Bowl's A sample and B sample should have been both deemed negative, meaning no ban, no investigation, no mental anguish, no tainting of Peter's reputation.
Well, that's so not true. Like, when we spoke about this, we said even if this does come back as negative, there's always going to be...
No, but that's what I'm saying. None of that should have happened.
Yeah, right.
None of that should have happened.
I thought...
No. There's going to be reputation.
Yeah.
No, but that meaning...
My bad.
None of that should have happened.
To Chris.
Yeah.
Attaboy.
So, look, I'm sure Peter's got his own lawyer, but if he needs to borrow ours...
Oh, thankfully we got two lawyers, so it'll be the lawyer on your side because I've been mine.
Okay, well then
we will send him out to fight because he has been pretty.
There's a word for Peter. It starts with litigation, ends with litigation, and the word is litigation. No, I don't know what he'll do, but gee whiz, what an absolute shit show that is.
An absolute nightmare. It made me so mad because of the fact that we live in a world now which is so just like it's so wild with people's opinions thanks to social media and how any egg can say something, right?
Yeah, and it can go any mistruths can go viral,
there's always going to be people who are going to say, "No, he 100% cheated." Like the damage that this has done, and to be labelled a cheater publicly.
Yeah, that's
there was an issue about how it even came out. Like it shouldn't have
come out, and then they discover it shouldn't have even been a positive sample to begin with. It's something.
There's something, and I know he does have a lawyer because I was reading something that his lawyer was talking about today, actually. So I reckon there's going to be a lot to play out in this story because we're literally talking about a man who was, you could say maybe Jess Fox aside, was our biggest story from the Olympics.
Super marketable.
Yep.
We got the Olympics next year, just come around quick because of COVID.
Yeah, so, unbelievably.
He's going to be
likable
guy. He still is marketable.
Yeah.
But this is just something that he didn't need to deal with.
No, absolutely not. And I could only imagine how angry it made me. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine the mental toll this whole few months would have taken.
Yeah,
because he's got to keep training on. He can't take this time off.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But very happy that I'm happy to learn that this.
Well, at least, I'd be surprised if anyone's jeering him or booing him or casting just any.
You'd hope not.
I think now he's clean. It's been come out that both samples were clean.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone just moves on and gets around him.
Yeah, let's get around him again, and hopefully in the next Olympics he gets a medal because he deserves it.
Sure does.
And Peter, we love you. Now we spoke about this before about the potential, but it is now confirmed that the NHL will appear in Australia for the first time when the Arizona Coyotes and the LA Kings play preseason games in the 2023 NHL Global Series on September 23 and September 24.
Do we care about this?
Oh, this is maybe like the biggest 2 days of my life.
Okay, right.
This is I'll try not to get like emotional about it.
Hold it together.
I never in my life thought that this would happen. Mm-hmm. There will be a lot of. I'm an emotional person. Mm-hmm. I'm a big crier. I'm very
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I'm very, very positive that there will be tears when I sort of walk into Rod Laver to see this because it's not just me. Obviously, there's a community in Australia who love hockey.
Yep.
Who have had to do things the hard way to follow the sport.
Yep.
Or even play the sport. When I first played the sport, I had to go to Oakley in this piece of shit rink that smelled like a urinal cake.
Hello to all our
our viewers out in the Oakley Ice House. And, nothing was easy. Like I had to, the gear I used was terrible, but like I've just fell in love with the sport.
Yeah, that's great.
And to experience NHL games and some of the things I've seen, like I feel very lucky in my experiences in hockey. I will never forget. And this will be another one of those. So
are we confident they can get the ice just really solid ice? There's not going to be any little softy, melty, icy?
The ice will be fine. Okay. So basically the NHL plays a lot of outdoor games. So they've played in LA. Yep. They've played on...
I suppose if you can get ice in LA, you can do it anywhere, right?
You get ice everywhere. But...
And hello to all our Oakley listeners again.
Ooh, Nelly. So basically, there's a company that specializes in this.
Yep.
Right? So they're the ones who are doing it. Now, all of their equipment is going to be shipped from Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Hello to British Columbia once again.
Yep.
Now, that's going to take 3 months.
So they're probably they're looking at it soon.
They're probably on their way.
So are tickets on sale yet?
They go on sale. They're on sale today.
You've already purchased?
I've already got them. Yeah.
Both games.
Yep, they went on sale at 3 p.m. today.
Yep.
So I've got them. I'm going to be at both games, which is It's hard to really.
No, I'm sure you'll. It's going to be, and it's right in the middle. What's that? Prelim final weekend.
Don't care.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's a big.
My boss. If
it's
my
going to
boss
be a massive week in Melbourne.
Yeah, it is. It's prelim week, I believe.
Yep. So that'll be great.
Yeah. So looking forward to it, and if you're someone who doesn't really like the NHL, whatever, it's hard to watch on TV. I get that. If you have the opportunity to go to this,
worth a look.
It's 100% worth a look. This is one of the best games to watch live.
Yep.
One of the teams is no good, but there's a big potential.
I guess that would be the Coyotes?
Yeah, but there's a huge potential that we will get to see the number one pick from this year's draft.
Great. Because the Coyotes would have that pick.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
He is, when I say, let's say Connor McDavid is the best player in the NHL right now.
Yep.
He's your Nick Dacos, right? This is your Harry Sheezel.
Okay.
These two, and this guy Connor Bedard, his name is. He may even be better.
Awesome. Well, definitely worth a look for the casual fan.
For the casual fan, yeah, you're not going to see the best of the best, but you're going to see some very good players potentially. So,
and look, and the next time they come out, maybe Sydney, maybe
no, it's going to be Melbourne.
Always
Melbourne.
I was just going to say, just get amongst it if you can, because you never know next time they'll be back. But
no, it'll be back in Melbourne.
Okay,
it won't be going
there you go.
Else.
There's an exclusive.
Yeah,
refill exclusive.
I won't allow it.
All right, the NBA playoff picture is complete after the NBA play-in tournament was run and done. The Western Conference saw the LA Lakers and the Timberwolves of Minnesota advance, whilst in the Eastern Conference, Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks went through, and the Heat stitched up the Bucks game one. So,
wow.
And the Lakers won their game one as well. So, I reckon the play-in tournaments are. I was a bit skeptical at first.
Yeah, I was going to say, where do you? I'd love to know where you stand on it, because I'm not. I've
become a believer now. I think it's a nice little added wrinkle. It gives interest into what otherwise would be. Who cares about the 7th or 8th seed? And it gives opportunity too. Like, so, as a Thunder fan, you know, this young group of players got to experience their first play. We'll call it playoff, but we'll call it postseason.
Pressure games.
Yeah.
Games.
There was pressure games. And so I like it for that aspect. And I just think it's exciting. So I'm all for it. And I wouldn't be surprised if the AFL look at it in the next couple of years either.
Well, I feel like most big sporting organisations have always wanted to do it.
Well, it's added revenue. Yeah. It's added,
it's a money printer.
It's a money printer. It gives you extra games in the fixture.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a no-brainer, to be honest.
Yeah, and I feel like most sports are kind of walking away from the traditional pre-season.
Yeah, and I think, as you said, I think they've wanted to do it, but they have sort of not sure how it would work. But with the NBA have proven that it works. Here's the structure. Here's the system. I think we'll see plenty more sporting codes to come. Yeah,
I got to see my Raptors, which is the first time I watched them this year after their opening game where they beat Cleveland.
Yeah, and how'd they go?
Not good. No.
They're in a bit of a transition phase.
They are. I don't really know. I mean, I don't want to seem miserable because I don't want to be like one of those people like, oh, the 10th seed shouldn't get into the playoffs. But like, if you finish 7th and the 10th seed is beating you, I don't know what the numbers are.
Yeah,
that's on you. Like, you've got one game, show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as that.
Well,
if you don't show up, you're going to get rinsed in the playoffs anyway.
Now you go into the season knowing that 7th seed isn't guaranteeing your playoffs.
Exactly.
It guarantees you a chance at playoffs.
Yeah.
So the mentality's changed for sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, any league, any way leagues can add revenue, I'm not going to say no.
Exactly.
Like, good on you.
Yep. It's a competitive market out there.
It's a competitive market and everyone likes money.
Yep. Absolutely.
Wrapping up, 9 games across 3 venues over 4 days in one state. Gather round.
Gather around it.
A festival of footy like we've seen, like no other we've seen before, with all 18 AFL teams competing in South Australia, one of the most beautiful states that Australia has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And the AFL and the South Australian government have come to an agreement to add another 3 years.
Yeah, so
the round is done. It's
round
going to be there for another
I think
few years.
everyone who was there was just couldn't stop going on about how great it is and what a success it was. Everyone at home.
No one gave a shit.
Look, I think it was great to watch. I don't think it was too different to just watching a normal round of footy. I suppose my point being that I think if you're actually there amongst the vibe, it's obviously a festival atmosphere. So it sounds like it's a great one for tourism and a great weekend away if you're looking at a weekend away.
Yeah, because like, why else are you going to Adelaide?
Yeah, well, this is true. What do you think? I'm a little bit 50-50 here. What do you think about it being locked away in South Australia straight away after one go at it?
No, here's my opinion on it. So it works really well with rugby. Rugby games, 40-minute halves, short, sharp. Our games, 30 minutes, time on, quarter break, half break. It just feels like a magic round or whatever you want to call it is geared a lot more to a sport that's structured with a time like rugby. So,
well, I mean, gather round's here to stay.
No. I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm just saying, for me, we don't feel like it. We don't feel like it's a festival, obviously, because we're not there.
Yeah, I think you have to. It seems like you have to be there. Well, my question though, is what about it being in Adelaide?
Yeah,
should it be in Perth?
I was going to get there.
Should it be in? Yeah.
No. So here's the thing, right? People say, "Well, why was it in Victoria? We got all the stadiums." We have gather round every week.
We don't need it in Victoria.
We have like 6 games
Victoria
every week.
Should be the last place to have it.
I don't think it should be in WA. I don't think it should be in Adelaide. I think it actually should be in New South Wales.
Nah, see, I reckon no one would turn up.
You reckon no one would turn up?
No one would turn up. Imagine Fremantle, North Melbourne at GWS Stadium on a Saturday. Who's going to go from Sydney?
Can I just say...
No one's going to go.
Can I just say GWS Hawthorn?
Yeah, that's my point. You can't...
And it was an exciting-ish game.
It has to be in a footy heartland state. You can't have it in a developing market. Because no one will rock up and it'll look empty and it'll look shit and everyone will be talking it down. Anyway. I think it needs to... I would have liked to have seen Perth have a crack at it. I get the geographical, logistical shit show that might have been.
You know
it is probably a bit
from a
too far away.
As someone who was just there, every time we go to a place, we're there for I reckon a day, and we're like, we're moving here. I
love Perth. It's a great place.
Yeah. You know what the issue would be, or it's obviously the time.
Yeah. Yep.
If let's say the time was 2 hours, I reckon they would have got it.
Yeah, for me, it feels like it just feels like it's just a bit too far.
Yeah,
to travel.
just a little bit further away.
Adelade's probably in that sweet spot from traveling from Perth to Adelaide, Melbourne to Adelaide, Sydney to Adelaide. It's all pretty central in that regard. I would have liked personally to have seen give Perth a go at it, give Hobart a go at it. As I said, do it in a couple of footy heartland states, not Melbourne, and then from there go right. Clearly, it's better in South Australia. Clearly, it's better here.
Yeah,
but
you know what worries me about
there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff as well.
The weather. Obviously,
it absolutely hosed down in Adelaide Saturday night.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like it kind of just it was like for me because the weather was crap. Some of the games were just real crap because of it.
Yeah,
like Perth weather is 25.
Yeah, well, as I said,
day.
I'd love to see it in Perth before we made a decision.
Yeah, and you got this new state. I know Adelaide Oval's not old, but this Optus Stadium.
Yeah,
how many casual AFL, or not casual AFL fans, but like people who are passionate AFL fans, and they say, I can't wait to go to Optus Stadium.
Yeah.
But it's so hard.
Yeah.
That's a great opportunity to get people to this unbelievable stadium.
For sure.
Guarantee you it would be able to hold up.
Oh, yeah.
The surface.
Absolutely.
And, those games in, Mount Barker or Norwood Stadium.
Look, it's all part of the festival atmosphere, as I was saying. I think that's why it was deemed a great success if you're there. But, yeah, look.
Can we talk about the mayor of Adelaide or the premier or whatever?
Yeah, you got a lot of airtime.
I'll tell you what, he's not making my sell list, but he was close. Just mayonnaise, this guy that dripped out of him all weekend was just excessive.
Yeah, well, he's a politician, I suppose.
Yeah, he plays amateur footy. Wears the number 206 or something.
Why not? Does he? Because he couldn't kick to save himself.
Oh,
he couldn't get a kick in it.
He almost got a sell just for his kicking action alone.
I know, he couldn't get a kick in a dojo.
Yeah, unbelievable. But the announcement post, and I hate to do a lot of shout outs, but shout out to David down in Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
He pointed out his press release after it was announced, he's carrying on as if it was the Olympics.
Yeah.
There's one weekend of footy, mate.
Yeah, as I said, I just think...
good job, patting you on the back.
Yeah.
You made it through.
And look, we'll see what they said that this is what we were able to do in 3 months. Imagine having 12 months to turn it around. Well, let's see what they do next year. Let's see how it's bigger and better. And look, I'd like to get over there. So, maybe Rex Airlines, if you're listening.
Come on, we've got a new joke corner to
we've got a joke segment that's just begging to be bought. No, look, I think the one other point I was going to make about that is I think next time I get why it wasn't a showdown, because why would you have a showdown when you're going to fill out games anyway? But it does give those two teams a extra home game. So imagine a showdown to kick it off or to end it would be pretty off.
It would.
Tap.
And you know what I thought? I thought as I was suffering through some of these games, the Brisbane North Melbourne game, Jesus Christ, grab me the IV bag, please. I was like, why can't they make I know not every game's going to be great, but let's say GWS isn't great. Make them play Sydney. But then as I came to that thought, I was like, there's no world where the AFL is going to be going to take
no, you're costing revenue when that
yeah.
So, but I get that, and that's a reason why they didn't play the showdown in this round. But I think in terms of, the fixture's already pretty compromised. So
anyway, well done to Adelaide.
Good stuff.
Port, no, great win. We've shown a lot of heart the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you can't deny we haven't shown heart.
No, I don't care about that.
Well, there you go. There's the headlines. Sandra Sully.
This is the
pinnacle.
This is the pinnacle of any episode.
Yeah, but it's really all we have going for us.
Yeah. Apart from our looks,
it's the only thing that keeps people coming back.
Yeah. What is it?
It's the stock market.
Tonight we're going to be talking about the stock market. Really? A woo for the stock market.
I was just trying to figure out what the hell was going on in the stock market.
I'm in a festive mood, so you can go first.
Oh, thank you. My first buy is the St Kilda Football Club.
Oh, that is going to make some listeners happy.
I was raw.
You can do it. You can do it. Deep breath.
I was wrong. No, all credit to him. I have been a lot of it's been tongue in cheek, obviously. But what I will say, why I'm buying them is because it just goes to show. Look, they made a courageous decision late in the piece to get rid of Brett Ratton.
It was detention late.
It was, and almost too late in terms of not being able to have a senior coach weigh in on trading and recruiting, etc. But they rolled the dice. They made the courageous decision to do it, and it's paid off. So hats off to them for that. And what it does show for me, it's Just goes to show if you get the right coach in there and they can install the right method and mentality, then any club can be transformed pretty quick.
Yep.
So, and it just, look, you know, I love Ross Lyon. I've said that before. I just think he's one of the best coaches in the comp, and the fact that he
does look like he's changed.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does look a lot more relaxed.
A lot more relaxed. I think he's like anything. He's been able to step out of the bubble for a couple of years, get a bit of perspective.
Yep.
And step back in. And it's a new generation too. You can't with your Gen X's, your Gen Y's, your Millennials, your Gen Zs, whatever the hell they are. Right. You can't bake them anymore.
No, it's
pats and it's empathy and it's all that kind of stuff. But I've loved, and like their list again. I still don't know about it, but it's proven it doesn't matter if you've got the right mindset and you get everyone in
doing this without
the right
Max
direction
King as well.
Max King, Steele's been out, a lot of outs. They'll play finals, which I just and again, like hats off to him. So I was wrong. Ross was right. At the start, we were sort of like...
Hang on, we never doubted Ross.
No, we never doubted Ross.
We never doubted Ross. What we doubted was their list makeup.
And why he'd take that list on. And I've mentioned Ross Lyon in this regard before. I've compared him to Doug Collins, the NBA coach, where he gets an immediate response out of a group in the first 1 or 2 seasons, and then that candle flickers and burns real quick.
Yeah,
so I think... Again, Ross has proven in his first year, bang, straight away he gets an immediate response. Is the list good enough in that first 2 or 3 years to get to the promised land? We'll see. Maybe they get a big free agent in the offseason.
Maybe. Who was the last big free agent they got? Dougal Howard?
Probably Dan Hanbury.
He went well.
His body let him down, I think.
That's probably saying it.
So, look.
They've got a couple of good young kids.
They've got some great young kids. Like Owens is great.
Machito. I love watching Machito.
Yeah, Machito.
Comminty, Northern Knights prospect. He's good. Philippou.
Philippou's
going to be a freak.
Yeah, he's already... And he's confident. I love it. So, good on the Saints. And hats off to them. And I think they'll play finals. And if they can keep up with
They'll play finals.
Yeah, they'll definitely play finals. And if they can keep up with this method and they don't... the only worry would be if the young players start to get fatigued, but let's see what happens. They get some soldiers back throughout the year. So
absolutely. Can we just take a small pause for a second and talk about the draft? How good this draft looks already.
Looks like it's a super draft.
It does. Like this Jinbi from he's not 18.
No, no, he doesn't.
He's a cigarette machine with a sidestep.
Yeah,
and had a lethal left foot.
Yeah, he's good.
There's Bailey Humphries from Gold Coast.
From Gold Coast.
Yeah,
looks a
the
player.
Moe Mauler.
We've already talked about the Cheezel Sheezel. As I said, we haven't even seen...
Cadman played his first game on the weekend. Yep. I'm not going to comment on that game because I didn't watch it. I fell asleep.
And I'm just really hoping... Don't think it'll happen, but really hoping Ed Allen plays his debut game in Anzac Day for Clean because he's looked amazing in the VFL as well. I think it's a great draft. Really solid top 20.
Yeah, so the game's in such a super...
It's in good nick.
It's in a great spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, good first buy. I said to you over the weekend, I've been pretty poor in the stock market in the last few episodes, I've felt.
You felt like, look, I that wasn't a criticism I had, but but self-reflection's usually the best.
I'm really good at self-reflection, so I'm pretty happy with the lists I've got today.
Okay, well, let's hear the first one.
First one, I'm buying Daniel Ricciardo F1 seat scenarios / tinfoil hat theories.
Wow, okay, fit that one in your Instagram post.
Yeah. Good luck to our social media manager who should be happy because... her St Kilda Saints have had some love in this episode.
Sure have.
So, remember when I said Ricciardo to Red Bull, he'll be back in the seat in no time. Perez will struggle.
Yeah, have you changed your tune?
Perez hasn't struggled.
No, Perez
looks pretty locked into that.
If not for a bit of a mishap in the qualifying lap, he would have been right up there.
Yep. Now, his old team in Alpine, right? Now, there were discussions with him during the off-season.
There were.
They ultimately went with Pierre Gasly, who's French.
Who's French, good fit.
Great fit. Now, the other driver, who's also French, Esteban Ocon.
Struggling.
He's struggling. He was the reason for the crash in Melbourne. The first race of the year, he had the worst race I've ever seen a driver have. He had like 85.
That's saying something.
80, that's saying something.
Like that Russian dude.
Because I watched Nikita Mazepin, not like he's driving not as Datsun. I've seen some bad drivers. Like Robert Kubica, when he came back, he mind you had a hand issue. Driving in the Williams at 40 miles an hour. He is struggling. Now, his contract status is I haven't confirmed it, but
I think we've proven that contracts don't really mean much the way Ricciardo was left
zero
from McLaren and the way that what's his name moved to McLaren.
Piastri.
I think we've proven that contracts
Yep.
Are they worth the paper they're written on? Who knows?
Probably not. So the fact that like people would say, "Oh no, he's won a race there. You know, he's French. It's a French team. They have a young French driver. They don't need two.
No.
And these two have history and beef,
right?
Which is over a young Fräulein.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're not going to delve into that, but
no, but Google it.
Yeah, Google it at home if you want. But basically, these two have known each other, forever.
I feel like the chemistry between Gasly and Ricciardo would be strong.
They're like best. They're like two of the
I think
two of the strongest on the grid.
I think it would be good. So could it happen this year, or are you thinking next year?
No, next year.
Okay.
Ocon's going to continue with a terrible season. Ricciardo just renewed
that history. Ricciardo leaving.
Nah,
doesn't matter when it was then Renault.
That's why we build bridges.
Okay, a very
so we don't
good point.
Get fucking wet. So yeah,
and that's why we burn them, so we don't get.
That's why we burn them. So. Well, I mean, he's returned to Red Bull.
Yeah, exactly.
So
no, look, we're all adults here, so we can handle that.
So I'm looking forward to Ricciardo being back on the grid.
I hope you're right.
Driving for Alpine.
Well, watch this space.
It's already done.
Watch this space.
The NHL won't go to Sydney, and Ricciardo's
back. There you go. A couple of refill exclusives already. My next buy is Joshua Giddey.
Oh, yes.
OKC point guard. He's
Bendigo zone?
No, I don't think that. I think that was
from Bendigo.
I think that was Daniel Davis or whatever his name. No, what's his name? The guy from New Orleans that got drafted.
Yeah, definitely he's the one from
Daniel,
Bendigo.
Well, I can't remember his name.
Daniels?
Something Daniels. Dyson Daniels.
Dyson Heppel?
We got there.
Yeah.
Dyson vacuum cleaners.
No free ads.
But yeah, Josh Giddey, the kid's going to be a star. He's only 20 years old. His first play-in game against New Orleans, he dominated. He had 31 points.
Did he get involved in a bit of the
31 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds, and also told a bloke to never do that bullshit again.
I like that. Who was the player?
I can't remember. He was a well-established player. But yeah, he gave him a little flick in the nads, a little punch in the nads.
Perfect.
But he stood up for himself. And look, the next game against Minnesota Timberwolves, they locked him down and he had a poor game, but I think that's probably a reflection on how important he is to OKC and the amount of work they put into making sure Giddey wasn't influential.
Yep.
But as I said, for a 20-year-old kid, Olympics next year, he's going to lead. He's going to take the mantle from your Paddy Mills and your Joe Ingles and take the lead. He's going to be the future.
You didn't say Ben Simmons, I would have lost it.
No. Ben, I'm sure he plays basketball anymore.
No, he doesn't.
So yeah, I'm super high on Josh. Can't wait to see what he does next year in a team that's gonna. OKC is a season or two away from absolutely bursting with all the talent they got.
Okay.
And the Olympics, as I said, I think he's going to be our main man.
Breakout.
So watch this.
Breakout campaigner.
So another great season. Second season in there, only 20. Hair's got a lot to be desired, but I can't talk.
No, you can't. But you will anyway. Now, my second buy is cheat code athletes who don't actually cheat.
Okay.
Now, I'm talking about...
You're talking about your naturally gifted peoples?
I'm talking about, and this pains me to say, I love watching Nick Dacos.
Oh, he's a cheat code.
He is genuinely a freak of nature.
Yep, he is. I mean, I love him like he's my own child.
Yeah, more than your own children.
Well,
close.
Are they listening? Probably not. No, he's one. I mean, to me, I feel like he's not the same player, but for me, he's Chris Judd 2.0.
Yep,
he is just a talent above. What he can do. Oh, he's only played 26 games.
Yeah,
and he's getting 42 possessions. Like, yep, sure, that's just another Nick Dacos game.
Effortless.
Yeah,
effortlessly.
There is a bit of some people, and again, this is social media, we don't care, but there are people saying he's a bit of he gets an easy kick, he gets on the outside, blah, blah, blah. I think you're not watching footy properly if you say that.
That's, you know what that is to me? That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out comment from people who are like, oh, yeah, well, he only gets an easy...
He plays on from kick-outs.
Yeah, okay, but every team has one of those players.
Correct.
So why is there not someone from each team who's averaging 42 disposals?
It's just the way he uses it, right? He doesn't waste a kick.
Exactly. It's goals he kicks.
Yeah.
The meters gained he gets.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's everything. So this isn't just a buy about him. It's just athletes like him
who just burst onto the scene and are like they've played for 10 years.
They're just genuine freaks. I talk about my man Victor Axelson. He's the best badminton player in the world.
GOAT. Just
the GOAT. Like it's athletes who are just so good.
You love to see it. It's so exciting when you spot them, isn't it?
Honestly, it is. I think there's nothing better. Yeah. There's nothing better than watching as a casual observer. Like you go for a team, right? So, but if you're putting on a baseball game, you're not a baseball fan. You want to watch Ohtani, a guy who's pitching and hitting home runs. It's the best thing to watch.
Yeah, it's great. And you don't have to be a Collingwood supporter to appreciate a good player in the AFL.
No.
Or you don't have to be a supporter of that team to appreciate greatness.
Yeah. I hate Collingwood. I hate North Melbourne. I have a love affair for Sheasel already, and I've already got one for I've already had one for Dacos.
Can he win the Brownlow? I mean, I know he's favourite, and I know he can, obviously, but can he?
This is going to be
sustain it.
Bold call. Mm-hmm. So what round are we coming up to?
So Anzac's round 6. Yeah.
If he has a big Anzac Day, and I reckon another 2 out of the next 3 are those sort of games he's been playing.
Yeah,
I reckon he's uncatchable. This is just my opinion on your games.
Yeah,
I've got him. I've got him a landslide 3 in 3 of the games.
Yeah, I reckon he doesn't get 3 against Brisbane, but I think the other ones that you're talking about, he does. Yeah,
yeah.
I think he gets 2 against Brisbane.
Well, I think
he's still yeah. I think I'm just trying to think who there's all the other players in the comp have been a little bit flighty. Like Lachie Neale's been up and down. Bont's been up and down.
Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver didn't have a great game on the weekend.
Had 400 disposals, but had 0 impact on the game.
Yeah, so look, it's as you say, if he can keep this up, it'd be an amazing second season win.
Yeah.
Judd won in his third.
Yeah, I honestly just think the games he's had so far, and based on the fact that we talk about that, and we talk about Cripps, Walsh has obviously just come back.
Yeah, there's
Tuke Miller.
All these main competitors haven't had a great start of the season.
No, they've been very...
Except for, unless you think Jeremy Cameron can win a Brownlow.
Well, I mean, what hurts them there is the fact that they're 3... Or they lost
their first 3.
Lost their first 3 games. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I think so. He's not your typical,
No, I mean he's
Tony Lockett forward.
No, but
right?
he gets up higher the ground and he covers a lot of meters.
A 20 disposal sort of forward.
I think they'd both be worthy winners, but yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think Dacos. It's always been a midfielder's award.
Yeah,
I just honestly, what he's doing is, and if you can have that opinion, some of his kicks are easy, but it's okay, why is that a detriment?
No, it's not. It's just he's just
if you're an AFL player and you can find the ball easily, okay, that's a good thing.
All credit to you.
All credit to you. if you're kicking out of a pack, hurried as contested, chances are you're kicking it to a contest. You're not kicking it to your forward's advantage. If he's getting the ball easy, he's going inside 50. He's an absolute elite user of the ball.
He makes it look easy, but his work rate is outrageous.
Yeah. I would love to.
He's constantly sprinting up and down the field.
I would love to dive into the GPS data to sort of see.
It'd be crazy, yeah.
Because there are some players right now who are doing like the coverage is
it's phenomenal.
So we kind of thought like Sam Walsh was like that top of the line. Like
I think a lot of people, I think they've just gone, well, that's the best. That's where everyone needs to be.
That's where everyone needs to be now, which is like, oh God, the game's in such a good.
It's in good nick.
It's in such a great place. It's in a great place.
My next and last buy is dad bod aerobics, and what I mean by this is I'm sure you've seen it, the F1 pit crew warm ups. And if you haven't seen it at home, maybe we'll try and post something. But it basically the pit crew do these little like calisthenic aerobic Oz style little warm ups. It's horrendously white.
It is,
and it's all dad bods just very trying Caucasian. To stretch out and look. I don't know if I'm the F1. I'm not going to teach you how to. I'm not going to tell you how to do it. I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. But there is an absolute market to sell the workouts as
100%. There is
as a workout video for the portly gentleman.
Yeah, there is. It doesn't look great.
It doesn't look great. It's so funny.
It is.
It's so funny. And it's just like, okay, I don't know why they need to warm up like that, but they do it, and it's a pisser. It is
an absolute. It looks like a piss take every time they do it, and I feel like they play into it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. If I'm in their marketing, I'm absolutely
marketing shit out of that.
I'm amplifying that absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm making a little workout video, taking the piss.
Yeah,
dead bod aerobics. I love it.
I like that. That's a hard one to follow. My last one is Tetris.
The movie or the game?
Well, the game.
Okay.
And I'm buying it based on the movie.
Have you watched? I haven't watched the movie yet.
I've watched the movie.
You liked it, obviously.
Gee whiz, that is one of the best movies I've seen.
Well, I'm gonna have to get into it. Yeah.
That is one of the best movies I've seen in a while.
Yep.
It's a very different movie. It's a serious but a comedy.
Yeah. Well, I really like the lead in it, Joel. What's his name?
Great question.
Edgerton or something like that.
Edgerton?
No, I can't remember it. I can't pronounce.
Is he Australian?
No, he's British.
He
was in Blackbird on Apple as well. Good watch if you want to watch something else. But no, I'm looking forward to watching it.
It's a great movie, and you know what? Like everyone, like I've played Tetris.
Same.
Growing up, and
absolutely.
Ever since watching this movie, I haven't stopped playing it.
Just on the iPhone.
On the iPhone.
Is it just an old school app?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to have a look.
Yeah, I've just non-stop.
Yeah, right.
And it's like watching that movie just instantly, it's like all those vlogs after watching the Queen's Gambit when I'm bored.
Yeah.
I tried to play chess online. I'm like, oh, that's right. I remember why I've never played chess.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to the Leisure Suit Larry movie then.
Yeah.
Because that will... I don't know if you're probably too young. Did you ever play that?
No.
Okay. Do you know what it is?
No.
Oh God.
I just laughed at the way you said that.
Well, Leisure Suit Larry is let's call it an 18+ game in that era of Tetris and Pac-Man and whatnot, where you had to sort of navigate your way through life and get up to a bit of mischief. So anyway, I think that'd probably be what's your space in that movie.
Yeah. Who would be your lead actor in that? If you were to cast it,
it'd be something like it's someone suave, but also a little bit like a bit slimy and sleazy.
Yeah.
Probably cast myself. No, I don't know. No one springs to mind.
Oh, very good.
So selling.
Yeah, I need to fire myself up for this. Come on.
I've sold this before, but I'm just going to keep selling it until it happens. In the AFL, the centre bounce.
Oh, yeah.
Can we please get rid of it? Why it didn't go at the end of last season is baffling. Why it's still here is baffling. It was really noticeable, especially in round one. Like, it's almost the first bounce, and it's like recall. It's just so anticlimactic. We've talked about how it puts umpires off from wanting to be umpires because they can't execute that one skill.
Yeah. I'm coming out the back, guys. Please, no contact. Play on. Just throw it up, shut up, and get out of the way.
It's just, please, can we get rid of it?
Yeah.
Just, I'm begging the powers that be. I know you listen. I know you watch on the YouTubes. Can you just get rid of the centre bounce?
Honestly, there is nothing worse.
Andrew Dillon, please, mate.
Please.
Get
lefty
rid of it.
to lefty.
As a fellow lefty, just get rid of the bounce.
You've got to get rid of it.
Please.
There is nothing worse. Friday night footy, Richmond v Carlton, 85,000 people chomping at the bit, raring to go, ready to scream ball.
Here we go.
Here comes the first bounce. Recall, come back, please. Yeah. All right, who's nominating? Fuck off.
Yeah, we need it.
Throw it up.
Throw it up, please.
Grow up.
Throw it up and grow up.
I've had a gut full of and you know what? The ones that should be called back aren't called back because they've already had to call back ones that are horrendous.
Yeah.
So ones that are clearly an advantage to one team, but not super bad, aren't getting called.
No, because they're just so gun shy about it.
Honestly, immature.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, I've had enough.
Same.
Good first sell. Bit of I got worked up there. My first sell is 6'5", 125 kilo. English fast bowlers who can't hit 125 kilometres on the speed gun talking shit.
Who was this?
Ollie Robinson.
Oh, right. Has he been talking a bit of...
Talking shit. A bloke who dead set wouldn't knock the fluff off a cappuccino. Mm-hmm. Just talking crap.
Who's he been talking shit about?
Us.
Australia. As in you and me and our fellow Australians?
Absolutely.
Oh,
just spruiking about how good England is and how good they're going to dominate the Ashes.
I remember correctly, he got left out one of the test matches in the last tour.
Honestly, a bloke who bowls 3 over spells because he's so unfit can't bowl a fourth.
Yeah.
Talk about a country that gets me worked up more than anything.
Yeah, you do.
Group of people.
You do have beef with the United Kingdom. I think it's fair to say.
Mainly cricket based, right? Because they win one Ashes series in 20.
And they all get MBEs and knighthoods.
They all get knighted and all this stuff, and they go on benders.
Yeah.
What do we do when we win the Ashes?
On to the next.
Yeah, all right. We've got Pakistan coming. Sorry, we've got to focus on the next series.
Yeah, we might enjoy ourselves for a night or two, but that's it.
We don't know where the urn is.
No.
Oh, it's somewhere around here, isn't it?
Somewhere in the MCC.
Somewhere in the MCC. It's just fair. If it's a competitive series, yeah, absolutely start talking. That last Ashes was one of the worst Ashes we've sat through.
We smashed them.
Honestly, we smashed them. And the amount of shit that they're talking, especially someone like that who, honestly, I thought he was an off spinner. I'm like, this is a long run up for an off spinner who doesn't turn it.
If anything, it's added motivation for the Aussies, right? Which is, if I'm England, I'm head down, bum up, and I'm just letting my cricket do the talking. But
do you reckon Baz McCullum is happy with that?
Probably
happy
not. No, I don't think he wants any extra motivation for the Australians. I think he would, as I said, I think he'd want them just to get the hard hat on, get to work, and just let the cricket do the talking.
Honestly, yeah. Ollie Robinson, just a waste of space, if I'm being honest. So that's my first sell. That
fired up about it. I love it.
That shit irks me. Like if you're gonna, there are a lot of bleeps in that little section there, but grow up. Talk to me when you can bowl. He's like Andre Nell. Talk to me when you hit 130 on the speed radar.
My next sell is, and I don't like doing this, but it's Collingwood's unfair advantage. How they're allowed to have a third team is beyond me. So they've got, obviously, the AFL team, they've got the VFL team, and then they've got like a lesser team based out in Alberton Oval over in Port Adelaide. How they get 3 teams, it's unfair.
Boo.
It's an unfair. And I caught like the prison bar. It did, look, I've never had a problem with it, but it did humour me when during that game the Adelaide Crow supporters started chanting "Good old Collingwood forever," pointing at the Port Adelaide supporters. Where are we at with it? What's happened here?
You know very well I sold the prison bar saga like ages ago. I was saying this to someone yesterday, right? I'm a Port Power supporter.
Correct.
Started following Port Power.
When they entered the league in 96?
Yeah, 96. Yeah, 96.
Yeah.
I don't care for our club's history.
Well, it's not your club's history because it's a different club, really.
Correct. I don't care. If someone wants to say how many flags we've won, I still say like 36. And how many Margarita medals you got? That's it. Shut your mouth. I don't care. I don't like Koshi. I don't care for the black and white. I'm a black, white and teal man.
I just think, look, you know, I suppose it's because I hadn't worn them in a while, but when they were wearing them, it's just, I don't know. I just think it's an unfair advantage for Collingwood to have 3 teams.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Thank you so much for bringing this up, trying to get me. I'm already worked up.
Well,
Ollie Robinson in my kitchen now. I've got this shit to deal with.
It was a little troll, I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, good on you. I boo. Honestly, I'm so over it. Like, I'm so over it from the angle of Port Adelaide crying about it. I'm also so over it from Eddie Maguire crying about it.
But it's just Eddie.
I know, and it's just Koshi.
Yeah,
they're both flogs.
It's the two big egos having a bit of an ego.
That's it. It's just two big egos at a table,
refusing to back down, and someone will get knocked out. I don't care if we could wear witches' hats. Yeah, look, as I said, it was a bit of a troll of you, but I did enjoy the video of the Adelaide Crow supporters singing "Good Old Collingwood" forever.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the showdown. I love watching the showdown. Yeah, so I mean, like, I didn't go to gather round because I was working. If I wasn't working, I still wouldn't have gone. I hate Adelaide. I hate prison bars. I hate the amount of people that like have a go at me.
Like it's your decision.
Yeah, like I'm one of those nuffies who bought the jumpers as soon as they went online.
Yeah.
Like, one, supporter jumpers don't really fit me anymore. And two, I don't waste money on this football club. Yeah. Like, until they give me something to...
Till Ken gives you a reason to believe.
Exactly. So, yeah, thank you.
That's all right. That's all right.
Happy with that. So, my second sell is Supercoach Toddler Tantrums.
Oh, okay.
This is directed at you, and this is directed at me.
Well, I don't think I've had a tantrum.
But we're back.
We're back playing Super. Yes, we're back playing Supercoach.
We're both back playing Supercoach.
I'd had probably a 4-year layoff, I think it was.
I probably had something similar.
Yeah.
We're both back. We're both back in, and we're both...
Well, we thought we'd started, like, we thought we'd clocked it.
We thought we were cheat codes.
We were both in the top, what? Well, you were like in the top 100?
I was in the top 100.
I was like 200 paces behind you.
Yeah.
After round one, thinking,
and we were like, "This is
I forgot how easy this was."
Yeah, I forgot how easy Supercoach was, and then all of everything is just
it's turned to shit,
basically.
Yep.
And like every week, there's just some new drama that I'm just having to deal with and getting myself upset and annoyed with.
As much as I love it, I've been quickly reminded why I stopped playing it, just because it's just. You know, like I had Jared Witts as a ruck and then he's a late withdrawal. And you're like,
Or you trade for Darcy Cameron and then he tears his MCL or PCL or VFL, whatever.
It's a curse and they do get you.
Honestly, you think you're good.
I love it, but I hate it. It's an evil.
It is an evil thing and like
a beautiful thing as well.
At the same time, I love being back into it. But
yeah, I'm invested, but I'm like, why
hate
am I
that I'm invested?
Yeah, same.
So,
It's a good game, but geez,
it's a good game, but far out. Does it just like put you into a mental pretzel and just ruin your mood?
Your mood is too easily dominated by having a good or bad Supercoach weekend.
100%. Yeah, and I thought I had a good one. Didn't really.
Yeah.
I was like 2,300. I'm like, Daddy's back. Daddy's not back. Everyone seemed to have scored that.
Yep. No, it's super competitive, but that's why we love it.
Yep.
That's why
so,
that's why we
welcome back.
Yeah, good to be back.
Good to be back.
My last sale, it's going a little bit off tangent, which we sometimes do with our last sales or buys. But
funny ones.
Well, inverted commas, funny. Drive-through order fuck-ups.
Oh,
now,
fucking hell.
As an old Macca's burger flipper myself, it hurts me to see the decline in fast food standards when it comes to just put what was ordered in the bag and then put that bag in person's car. Like the transaction's pretty simple, right?
It's
like,
so
what do they
straightforward.
order? Put that in the bag, give it to the person.
Yeah.
The amount of fuck it happens, and I'm not just singling
Every
out.
time.
I'm not singling out a franchise because they're all potential sponsors of ours.
Yeah.
But like it happens across the board. I get that the employees, it's hard to find employees at the moment. It's a competitive market, but kids, just read the order.
Wake up
To yourself.
Go slow. Take your time.
Yeah, I'd rather wait an extra couple of minutes and not have to turn around and say, "Hey, mate, you forgot half my order."
Yep.
So let's lift across the board.
Yep.
Let's get our fast food standards
Agree.
up.
Yeah. I could not.
Let's get our drive-through orders correct.
I could not get behind this more.
Yeah,
if I tried.
Very annoying, and it happens way too often.
I've had a lot of issues. You said, and so I'll bleep it out. I've had a lot of issues with me of late. Every time I go, my order is messed up.
Yeah, it's very frustrating, and it's very consistent across the board.
It is. Yeah. I ordered a McChicken.
Delicious.
Yeah. Here's what I got. Right, so I've ordered. I reckon. I used to order like a quarter pounder or a double cheeseburger.
Yep.
No ketchup, no mustard. But the problem was, I just kept getting ketchup, mustard.
They weren't doing it.
So I was like, I'm just going to start ordering McChickens.
Yep.
I ordered one McChicken. I got a chicken and cheese.
Okay, I'm not sure why they put cheese in a McChicken. Doesn't belong there.
It's not what I ordered.
Yeah.
I ordered another McChicken another time. This is what I got. And I swear to God this is true. And I have people who can verify this. I got a burger with lettuce, tomato, and cheese. That is it. No meat of any kind.
I don't know how that happens.
I honestly, I was so upset.
Yeah, it's upsetting. It is upsetting because especially normally you're either hungover or you're just Lee Marvin, can't wait to eat.
Oh, I was Lee Marvin when I got that bullshit.
And then you're just like, what has happened here? But again, we're not singling out any franchises.
You're all as bad as each other.
We just need to lift our standards collectively.
As an industry.
Industry,
you just need industry-wide.
That's all we're asking.
Yep. This last one is going to seem like a surprise, and I don't even know why. I don't even know what the root of this is. Well, I do know what the root of it is. It's called family genetics. I'm selling being bald.
Well,
I've had a tough time of it recently.
Yeah, how so?
A lot of like looking in the mirror, going, I'm not happy with how you look.
Yeah.
A lot of, self-deprecating is maybe sort of wearing away at my confidence.
Have you thought about a toupee?
I never get a toupee. Do you know why?
No.
So
is it because you're so established as bald now that if you've got a toupee, people would say,
nah,
you've toupee?
You know what the problem is, right? When people carry on the way like I do, they bring unwanted attention to themselves. So like when Port Adelaide lose, I get abused.
Yeah.
I just really get abused actually just all the time.
Yeah, it's fair.
Could you imagine if I got a piece of shit toupee?
Well, it doesn't have to be a piece of shit. It can be.
It would look
there's some really good ones out there. I would love to see you in like maybe just like a bit of a Cam Smith blonde sort of
mullet. Yeah,
I think you could pull that off quite easily.
I don't know if I could, but could you just imagine the heat that would come?
It'd be a lot of heat.
There would be. I wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
No, but look, the older you get, the more you've less of a shit about what people think. Just do you, mate.
I'm usually really good with that.
Just do you.
The last couple of weeks, I've just struggled. Maybe it's like the rain and the cold weather.
Maybe it's the changing of the seasons,
Changing of the seasons, but
no, look, I just reckon...
Not really feeling the bald love at the moment.
Well, just give it a bit of a shine, mate, and you'll come back bigger and better than ever.
I mean, that was one social media comment that's hurt me.
What's that?
I was with my beautiful partner and Margaret River, and we took a very nice photo together.
Beautiful selfie, if you will.
Beautiful photo, and someone goes, you shine that head in the ballo shine.
See, that's not needed. It's not needed.
It's not needed.
But also, it's probably...
you laughed.
It's probably good for Joke Corner.
Yeah, well, there's 2 jokes for the price of 1. No sponsor. So.
No, look, I get it.
It sucks.
Yeah, look, it's not easy.
My hair back.
It's not easy, but it's genetics, as you say.
Yeah.
So you're selling genetics.
I'm selling genetics and being bald. But, talking about a real... down way to finish.
That's all right. We can lift. We can round this up.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the stock market. Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you gave me this or I gave myself this, but there was homework to be had. I felt off the back of our last episode, which was to watch and critique and maybe provide a few highlights for everyone out there on 3 of the sport doco series currently doing the rounds.
Yeah, it's gone a bit mad.
It has.
Old
well, I mean,
30 style documentaries.
Yeah, and so it's so the 3 we were mentioning and the ones we're going to discuss briefly today. Drive to Survive, the OG.
Yep.
On Netflix.
The one that really it's the one that's kicked it off.
The one that's paved the way. Yep. Full Swing, again, on Netflix, same producers of Drive to Survive. Mm-hmm. And season 2 of Show Me the Money on Stanley.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money.
So I watched all 3 of them. Have you had a chance to watch them all?
Yes, I've watched all 3.
So let's start with Full Swing.
Yep.
Look, the formula is so simple for like Drive to Survive and Full Swing and these things. It's humanise the sporting talent that you don't really get to see and give you a reason to follow because you're like, oh, he's actually a nice guy. Oh, this guy's actually this or that. I'm going to follow. I'm going to watch now. It works. And for me, it's worked with Full Swing and golf. Ever since I've watched it, I've definitely taken more of an interest in golf.
And the players that you
and
saw.
The players that we see. And again, early in the piece, it's explaining what a par is, which is like, okay, so we're not preaching to the golf fanatic here.
No.
We're absolutely catering to the casual golf fan.
Yeah.
Or even just the casual.
Golf for dummies.
Well, it really is golf for dummies. But from there, I think the storytelling of Full Swing is great.
Yep.
You get to meet all your different players, your Brooks Koepka. Brooks Kepler. What's his name?
Brooks Koepka.
Brooks Koepka, who we mentioned, who we mentioned earlier, but he, the thing that stood out with me for Full Swing is it sort of reminds you of the war that these guys go through, not just against each other, but more so with themselves, both physically and more mentally, psychologically. It is a brutal sport on the brain box.
100%.
It's all above the shoulders, really. Like the percentage, like the top 200 golfers, the talent wise, it's razor thin gap. So it's the mental strength that separates them. So I thought that Full Swing did a really good job at sort of illustrating that.
Agreed.
I really enjoyed it as a casual fan. As I said, it's worked. I've now started watching more golf as a result.
There you go.
What do you think? Any thoughts?
I liked it. And look, on Koepka, we're talking about a guy who, for a good, probably 2-3 year period, was money in majors.
Yeah, well, he won like 4 in his first 2 years or something.
Nothing. Yeah. And this, and if he wasn't winning, he was coming second, third, top 5, top 10s, whatever.
Yeah.
He was there every major, right? And that's very difficult to do.
Oh yeah, well, exactly. Just
And what's happened with him was, his body, because he's a big guy.
He's a big brute.
He's a big brute, and he had knee issues and all these injuries. He just couldn't get healthy.
Yeah.
And I think what you see in that documentary is, for the first time probably in his professional career, a guy who genuinely is like, I can't win.
Yeah.
Which would be very, very difficult, I imagine, for someone like him who has really had almost no issues winning.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's just...
Yeah, what's the saying about confidence, right? It's, I don't know. There's got to be a saying about confidence. Basically, that's like, it's when you're in that thing, you feel like you're never going to lose it.
It's hard to lose it, and then when you haven't got it, it's hard to get it.
You feel like you're never going to get it back.
Yeah.
And I think him going to live, now I'm not going to speculate, if you put, $100 million in front of me, how high do you want me to jump? Like,
that was another interesting part of that whole show. Is what I liked is how they showed the prize money they got for winning each tournament, because it then put in perspective, like, these guys are earning serious cash, and then from there they're like, well, Liv's knocking on the door with, like, how much money are these guys, like Dustin Johnson? How much is enough money wise? You know what I mean? Like, what exactly is going to make you satisfied money wise?
Yeah.
I think that was clever, the way they sort of show that what these guys are actually earning throughout the whole series, and then illustrating that these guys are actually leaving for ridiculous money.
Stupid amount of money that the PGA Tour can just never compete with. But
exactly.
I mean, it's probably not an unfair thing to speculate and say, here's a guy who's seen John Rahm, Scotty Scheffler come along, and all these young players, and he just can't compete with them in that moment. He's got all this money in front of him, and he just goes, shit, I don't know if I'm ever going to be healthy. I don't know if I'm ever going to get back to the winning ways. I'm probably going to I'm going to take the money and run. Yeah, well, and I don't blame him for that.
No, exactly. I mean, it's just the moral side that they have to wrestle with. The only knock on this series, I recommend, if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend watching it. Is it's a shame that they couldn't get Cam Smith.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have him involved.
Would have been great,
because he was probably the only major player that they didn't really get to feature. And obviously he said no or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you haven't seen it, Full Swing, I'd definitely give it a watch.
I love Joel Damon. Damon.
He's wonderful. Yeah, he is so good.
Yeah, he very similar sense of humor to me. Self-deprecating.
Well, you definitely have a beer with him.
Yeah, 100%. And
he's like a normal dude who can just hit the shit out of a golf ball.
100%. And his motto is like, I'll never be a major champion. I'll never be world number one. He goes, but someone's got to be the 70th best player in the world, so it may as well be me.
I suppose it's a healthy perspective in that it's never going to put too much pressure on you, but it's also, is he selling himself short? Like, if he did have a little bit more swagger, a little bit more belief, could he win a major? I think he's got the talent.
Well, it's a funny one. So the tournament on the weekend, he was the leader after round one and missed the cut.
Yeah, I mean,
the talent's just there. Like every guy on tour has got the talent.
Yeah.
I mean, for someone like him, I think that's a healthy perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're talking about someone who is a cancer survivor, someone who lost a parent at a young and formative age.
I mean, and this is the power of that show. The backstories. Yeah. You wouldn't know about this stuff unless you watched it. So,
and for some people, right? Some people are. Like these athletes, to get to this level, you have to be it.
Yeah.
Every second of every day.
Yeah, you have to be selfish.
And some people, that's not healthy.
No, that's right.
And for Joel, that might be it. Yeah. And so that perspective, given everything he's gone through, probably works for him.
Yeah,
works for his family.
No, look, absolutely.
So. Yeah,
it was just great to see someone like basically look. Like seeing us, on the PGA.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he would definitely get into the data aerobics, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So yeah, I loved it. Obviously,
we knocked over a vodka and
in between rounds, and then qualified for the US Open. Yeah, unbelievable,
wonderful stuff.
So yeah, I loved it. I'm a golf nuffy, so
yeah, no, it was really good.
Yeah.
So next one, Show Me the Money, season 2, which was just the one long episode. I suppose.
It's like a movie almost.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. I'm still unsure how much of the down to the wire deals just in the nick of time, how much of that's sort of real and how much of it is sold that way, manufactured. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to know, to be honest. I'm just...
Yeah. Here's my understanding of it, right, is you can say to the AFL, we've got a trade. We've got a trade call. You have to, like, log it.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, you're like, we're just, finalising it, whatever. That can go past the trade deadline.
Yeah.
As long as you've, like, logged it with the AFL and say, yep, hey, Western Bulldogs here, we're talking to Fremantle. We just need to log that.
Yeah.
And then that trade can still get done.
Yeah,
so it's like
all the down to the wire.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm kind of saying is, like, they say, we've got seconds to do this trade, but it's like you really don't. You just call the AFL and say, hey, we've got a trade that we need to log before the time, and then you can work out the semantics after.
Yeah, well, look, again, that's it's all part of the drama.
Yeah, the trade period, and it's like with free agency, obviously that's changed it. But can you remember the 2-week trade period before free agency? How much of a snoozer it was?
Oh yeah, it was. You'd read it on the newspaper the day and say, Collingwood are potentially talking to Brisbane about this, and that's the end of trade news.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like the 2 weeks is up, and it's like Collingwood has traded like
they've
fifth round pick,
like 6 deals
for this guy that was a fringe player, and you're like, it took you 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
To work, you should. Be
I still think it goes too long.
I agree,
but like the trade radio money and all that kind of stuff that they
and it's all it is like. It's it's bartering and
exactly.
and that sort of a thing.
And in any natural negotiation, if you've got 2 weeks to negotiate, you're going to use the 2 weeks.
Yep, 100%.
So
I reckon it should be a week. I think a week gives us enough time to.
I think a week there'd be some genuinely interesting stuff happening all the time.
Yep, agreed. Have them all at Marvel.
Yeah,
like they do.
Yep.
Whatever. Give them a week. You can have the trade radio for a week. You're not going to lose all of the shows and all that sort of, the Mayo media stuff outside of that. You're not going to lose that.
No, exactly.
It's just not going to drag on.
It's just a bit more condensed.
In
terms of the show, I thought Jacob Hopper was great talent.
Yep.
I thought I was surprised. I'd never really heard from him.
Yep.
He was a great personality. I'd like to see him do more media.
Yeah, he seemed very comfortable.
Especially at Richmond, big club. I think he's got potential to do media for sure.
Yeah, agreed.
But the clear star of the show was Colin Young.
Yeah, he is.
And I don't know if you saw at one stage they had a shot of inside his office, and he had 2 copies of the Wolf of Wall Street book.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he read the book the first time, didn't like the ending, and thought he'd buy the book again and try and get a different outcome the second time. I don't know why he had 2 copies of the same book.
Yeah.
Or he's just trying to really illustrate that he's like the Wolf of Wall Street in the AFL trade circles. I don't know. It was pretty funny.
He seems like a real character.
He's a cowboy. Yeah.
He does. And who's the guy who he works with who used to play?
Yeah, Andrew McDougall.
Andrew McDougall seems like they seem like a really good marriage.
Yeah. You got like it's the grasshopper and the
What's the sensei?
Sensei and the grasshopper. Take this stone from my hand.
You've got he's a real, charismatic, sort of laid back dude, and then you've got your
McDougall's a bit of a
you've got your heavy hitter to just like press. Yeah. It's like break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah. No, you're right. That relationship is quite good.
Yeah, I mean, I came out of that watching it and going, look, Colin Young's obviously a bit of a I wouldn't say a maverick or a renegade in terms of player agents.
No, I don't think you can be in that world. But
no, you can't, because I feel like that's how you player agents are for the most part in America and all this.
Yeah,
I came away from it thinking about like Fremantle and the way they dealt with it. There's clearly issues there.
Yeah, there is for sure.
And you hear like you talk about Jacob Hopper being good. I was really impressed with Griffin Logue.
Yeah, well, Griffin Logue
he does a lot of media and podcast stuff already.
Okay, right. He was not speaking well of Freo.
No, he was.
And Rory Lobb, obviously, he was a little bit more.
You can understand Rory Lobb.
Why he was a little bit angry with it, but you're right. They did not speak well.
Yeah, and I'm very aware of the fact that what we saw is one side.
Absolutely,
but it to me it does seem like Fremantle's sick of dealing with Colin Young.
Yeah, which is a problem for them because Colin Young's
he's based in WA,
Perth-based manager, and he's got some of the biggest names at West Coast and Freo.
And if you think about the actual deals in terms of what he's been able to probably put through, he's going to keep getting a lot of the young elite talent in WA, and that's who they want to draft.
Yeah, exactly. So they're going to have to deal with him.
Yeah. So I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it, and that was my one takeaway. I was like, Peter Bell and Fremantle do not come off good here.
No, as you say though, it is one side, but yeah, interesting.
Yep.
And then the last one, the OG, as I mentioned earlier, Drive to Survive, season 5.
Yep.
I think their ability to create drama is still the best in the business.
I think so.
Look, there's already enough drama in their fun, but their ability to amplify it and
manufacture it,
add some GST and some mayo to it.
Oh, do they ever?
Is great. And I think the thing that they do really well is their use of scripted commentary. Mm-hmm. I'd call it the performative script writing, if you will.
Do you know that they don't? You could be watching a race and they say this is at Imola, and the audio that you get is not for that race.
No, absolutely. They chop and change it, but I also reckon they re-record for sure.
Well, they do because one of the guys who he does that. I can. If we watched an episode, I can point it out to you. You probably know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But for the lay fan who wouldn't know, I think
they would know that it helps.
It absolutely. It's basically replaces a narrator.
Yeah.
So they're using, as I said, scripted commentary to get them from A to B to add that drama.
Yeah,
because it's very well done.
Yeah,
and Full Swing did it a bit as well.
Yeah,
but these guys do it really well.
Yeah, because like they do that, when they're talking about McLaren and like Ricardo struggling, and then they get that the fake commentator guy, and they go, look, there's McLaren struggling again, and Ricardo. Commentators would just never really say that,
but. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's performative script writing. It's great. It's very clever the way they do it.
It's annoying to people like me and full hard.
Well, I can sort of tell.
No, but
even I can. I'm not a fanatic, but even I can tell it's. But for the lay fan, it's great. Yeah, exactly. Like a dogfight between the 12th and 13th place driver. Just no one ever commentates on that. But,
exactly.
But in that show they do. But and look, they've just got so well established characters now, like the driver principals are main characters. The Christian Horner versus
Christian Horner versus the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Gunther Steiner.
Yeah, he's a class clown. He's a class clown cult figure.
Yeah,
it's just the fact they got Max on board a little bit, but he was there in parts.
I'm starting to really like Max Verstappen.
He's just a competitor.
He just is.
Yeah. And that's all he just wants to race and win. That's all he does.
That's all he wants. And that's all he wants. And you know what? Like, he's young.
Yeah. So, look, it's the OG for a reason. It's great to watch. If you haven't watched it, season 5, get amongst it.
Yeah, season 4 was a hard watch.
Yeah.
The Mayo,
wasn't quite there.
It was a Mayo fest.
Well, I think when nothing really happens on the track, it's hard to manufacture drama. But when there's actual drama on the track, that's when they come into their own.
Yeah, they definitely listened, I guess, to the OG fans, you could say.
Yeah.
And pulled back on that Mayo a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And season 5 was really good.
There was one bit, I don't know if you saw it, was one bit when Toto was going off his head and Christian Horner's like, Are you doing this for the cameras, or are you really doing this?
He's like, is this real?
Are you doing this for the camera, or are you really saying this to us? You know?
Yeah, he's like, fix your fucking car. Yeah. It's like simple as that. Yeah, it's like Toto's like threatening everyone. He's like, if one of these cars goes into the wall. But that's the thing is like, because Toto is such a competitor.
Yeah.
Right? We're talking about a guy who's actually just ended up on Forbes billionaires list.
Yeah.
We're talking about a guy who's won everything in the sport, and then all of a sudden he's had it snatched away.
Yeah, a little bit of
And he's like, I know what I need to do to get this car competitive, but it's making it unsafe.
Yeah.
But he's still like, he's like,
better. Why is your car not?
Yeah, he's like, why is yours not doing it? Yeah. And he's like, fix your fucking car.
Yeah, it's great. It's great.
It is. My favorite part about that's one of the biggest scenes in that season.
Yeah.
Is Gunter again. Like I went and listened to him speak on the Friday, and he's absolutely brilliant. Him like getting there, or not getting there late, like talking while the president of the FIA or Formula One
is trying
to talk, and he's joking around. He's like, sorry, headmaster.
Yeah.
Like just this is a grown man.
Yeah.
This is a serious meeting.
He really is the class clown.
He really is. But
a team like Haas absolutely need a team principal. They need a salesman.
He does everything.
Exactly. He's doing a lot of heavy lifting in terms of getting sponsorships on board and keeping sponsorships.
Yeah. So, him and Ricciardo would have been such a great marriage.
It's such a shame that Ricciardo didn't go there.
Yeah, that would have been such a great marriage.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love the season. I love watching it, despite the
it's like anything. You got to take
it for what it is.
Yeah, you got to take your fanatical glasses off it and just say, look, this is entertainment primarily.
Yeah,
it's not a true blow by blow documentary on.
No, and we're not going to get into it. But the tennis also had one.
I haven't watched it. I heard it's not great. It's season 2. Part 2's coming, so I wonder whether they're going to readdress some of their issues.
I hope so. I fell asleep watching one episode. Yeah. You know, like there was a small part of it that I enjoyed, like Taylor Fritz. He was a Californian kid growing up and won at Indian Wells.
Yeah.
And you know, won and had an ankle issue that before the final and was going to pull out, and was basically, I'm pretty sure it was an ankle issue. Don't quote me on it, but you know, pretty much the doctor's like, mate, you cannot play. He goes, if you play here, you are really risking. But this is a tournament he went to as a kid.
Yeah.
They I don't know, give him a shot or something, and fully risked quite a lot to play in this final. End up winning. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it's courageous.
To see that what
they have to sacrifice,
what they're potentially sacrificing or risking.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it was you can love it or leave it. I left it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So
all right. Well, I thought worth a chat, and if you haven't watched them, definitely give you worth the time.
Yeah, it's worth the time. And if you disagree with what we say, DM Tim. Don't DM. Stop DMing me.
Yeah, hit my DMs, please.
Hit your DMs. But that's been a good one, a long one.
Yeah. Well, shall we tease what we're going to? So next ep,
yes,
we are going to look at. We're going to basically become list manager of the new Tasmanian Football League, the 20th.
The 20th.
Sorry, the 19th. The 19th. We've stepped ahead. The 20th is. The 20th will be one that you've proposed. Over in WA.
Yeah. Do we tease that as well?
Yeah, let's tease that. So first of all, we're going to basically the AFL has said to us, you can pick 5 players to start the new Tasmanian team. Who are you picking? And we're going to do it by line. So you can pick 1 forward, 1 midfielder, 1 backman, 1 ruckman, and we'll call it a wild card / utility / just give us your next best player that you want.
Yeah, can be whatever you want.
Yep. So that's what we'll be doing next episode.
We'll be studying hard,
looking just. It's interesting because do you choose for now? Do you choose for future?
Well,
do you do a bit of both?
That's the thing is like I think I've changed a bunch of mine already.
Yeah, same.
And I think one of mine will genuinely like shock you.
Oh, I like to be shocked. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there are no Port Adelaide players, so don't worry about that.
No, okay. Well, there might be a Collingwood player.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
and also we're talking about the other thing we're going to talk about next episode, a little teaser, is what would live footy look like?
I had too much fun with this. I clearly had a day off and was just stuck in my own head, and I thought this is a good idea to share to the world.
Yeah, no, it's good. So live footy, what would it look like? How would it operate, and where would it operate from?
And I've already worked it out.
Yep. So look forward to that.
Yeah. That should be good to dive in. I love diving into that stuff.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah. But anything else you wanted to?
No, look, thanks everyone for listening and watching, of course, on the tube. Like and subscribe, as we said earlier. Yep. But, apart from that, no, good stuff.
Shop early.
Always shop early.
Speaking of floating on air, my first buy is Mascots Trucking Kids.
What? Full enough alert. My last sale is Chupa Chup wrappers.
You're looking vibrant, relaxed, youthful.
Thank you. Yes, I don't feel any of those things, but
neither do I. And I don't look at. Wow.
Oh God, we've gone full nuffy.